Hey there and happy Monday. So I hope you guys are off to a good start to your week. The weather today was gorgeous, a little windy, but I spent so much time outside. I came inside and I don't know if you guys ever remember the smell that your kids had when they played outside. My boys, I felt like always smelled like a wet dog when they came back in from playing outside, and I came in and I was the only one in the house, so I knew it was me that smelled like that wet dog. So I can't wait to take a shower tonight and clean up from that. But I washed windows, helped my husband dig for potatoes. I always wait for him to help me with that task because the ground this year is hard as a rock because we just haven't had rain. And so he helped for a little bit and said, I'll be back tonight. So hopefully, if not tonight, tomorrow before the weather turns and gets kind of chilly again. So because it was a beautiful day, I thought I'm going to bring out a project that I've done in the past, but I haven't shown you here. And that is using the Spotlight on Nature bundle. And yes, it's got kind of pretty flowers, doesn't quite maybe fit in with the theme of this time of year, but it does for me because I love to make up these bundles of like all occasion cards for people for gifts, and the holidays are coming up, so it's a great time to use your gifts. Think of this for people that, you know, what do they have? Everybody always wishes they had sympathy cards on hand, birthday cards on hand, thank you cards on hand. And so if you are sitting there thinking, you know what, I just have enough paper and things like that, use that paper, make your gifts this holiday season. I think, you know, people are just getting away from that type of thing, but yet it is so appreciated that people do make and take the time to do that. So let me show you today's card. I'm going to get my camera turned around for you. Hi there, Pam. Hi, Sandy. And as I get this turned around, it kind of is ironic that today's card kind of matches the inside of the catalog. It kind of just blends right in. So the Spotlight on Nature, I know I've done it or used it a ton with you guys. Annual catalog, page 69, but still people are just loving both the stamps and the pretty dies. So the stamps here, just last week I made more of a like a fall card with the early espresso monochromatic look and the butterfly and the leaf and such. And today we're using tulips, like I said, spring flower, but I'm getting together this bundle of birthday cards. And so this will be perfect because if the person needs to send a spring birthday card, this is it. So it's one of those things that, you know, so many people work on their Christmas cards during the spring and summer. So why can't we work on spring cards during the fall or even winter, right? So we've got that. And just so you know, for sizing of this card here, before I get too far out of the Spotlight on Nature dies, I'm using just the second to the largest from this set here that kind of has, I call it my Morse code because it's got the dots and the dashes in it. That's the one. So that's where that comes from the Spotlight on Nature dies. So we can just set this aside here. And this also, I guess, would qualify for monochromatic. I just feel like there's so many colorful renditions of people using this bundle and so many monochromatic ones that it's great to see the versatility that this gives us. So my card today is going to start with the card base Petunia Pop. So this year's in color, opening this way. And before I get too far with putting it together, this is my basic beige piece here. Oh, I've got a fly that is driving me crazy. It's just really loud and big in here. And you can tell it's going to get cold because those are the annoying flies that are in my house. Not too many, but they make their presence known. Okay, basic beige. And I just want to check my measurements here. 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 is this measurement. Hi there, Tabitha and Joyce. So before I do any assembly, I want to do my stamping. So in case I mess up, then I've got another option to go from. So I'm going to open up my Petunia Pop ink pad here. And so I also want to show you, I want to kind of mix up what I've done because, like I said, I want to get some bundles of cards ready for the holidays. I'm going to make this into happy birthdays. So the Spotlight on Nature stamp set has Dear Friend and Thanks, and I kind of showed you how I mixed those up last week. And this card actually is inspired by Kim Quaid, another fellow demonstrator, and I'm going to use her inspiration to make a birthday card. And so for that reason, I kind of have had this just laid out. I have a Roscog, one of those little carts, 3-tiered carts, and this is always in there. So as I'm working with stamp sets, if they're not complete, if I'm in process or in progress of making products or different like samples or getting ready for classes, all of my stamp sets that have a stamp missing goes in my Roscog. And my Simply Said, whether it's full or not, has just been in there because it has all these great sentiments from the annual catalog for different occasions. So if I am making up extra cards and want to just change out the sentiment, I've got that ready to go. So that's what I'm going to use today, is the Happy Birthday, as I ink that up in Petunia Pop. So hopefully I can get this straight. I'm just going to put that kind of off to the side there to leave more room for my other pieces that I'm going to put on my card. So the Fun in Color 6x6 Designer Series paper has like just those different pattern pieces. So I just cut this strip, let's see, this is 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to do that. And there again, if you have those little strips, like I cut these strips from a 6x6, but you know, we all have those 6x6 papers. And then what happens is that we end up with all these leftover strips. Well, keep this card layout in mind. I'm so glad Joyce is on here, because Joyce is the one that is always inspiring me, because she says, I use that layout and I did this. And so sometimes I think I need to be like Joyce and just copy my own layouts when I'm stuck in a rut and need some inspiration. So that'll work for that. And so now this is going to just kind of go to that 1/4 inch away from the edge there, and it's going to just kind of go over top of that a little bit here now. But then I've also cut this 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inch strip of the 2024 through 2026 in color glimmer paper, or it's the Glimmer 12x12 specialty paper. And so there again, you can get lots of little pieces when you're only using this little strip. So knowing that I'm using like the in color here of the Petunia Pop, you could, if you wanted to, for a friend, make like a whole bunch of these birthday cards and just switch up which in color you're using. So you could use like the Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and just, you know, cover it all and have them all looking similar but different too. So that could be a fun way to do that. And then what I'm going to do is take out from my pre-cut Spotlight on Nature die here, I'm going to take and ink up my tulips. And because this is a bigger stamp, I'm going to just lay it on, or tip it over this way, and then put the ink on like so. And then that is ready to go. Let me grab some scratch paper. This is looking pretty scratchy, but then I feel like kind of accomplished, like, oh, I've done a lot. Look at all that scratch stuff on there. All right, that way when those stems go off, it catches on the paper like so. And actually, I'm going to leave my paper here, because on the inside with that same black, I'm just going to kind of grab a couple of these tulips here and ink those up and just kind of put that in the corner like so. So we have that peeking there. And sometimes I color those in when it's going to be on the inside of the card, and sometimes I leave it be. But since I had the stamp out and everything, I thought, well, I'm just going to do that. And now for the coloring in, I'm taking the Petunia Pop blends, and I'm just going to kind of outline here the flower here. And then the artist put a lot of the darker kind of hash marks on there, just kind of did the blending with some of that type of just kind of taking this pen and taking the black and doing that. So I'm just going to do kind of that same thing with that and just kind of fill in these 3 tulips a little bit like that. I'm not even going to go on the small one over or across the top like so. I'm just going to fill that in there like that. And then I can come back with the light petunia pop and just kind of fill that in. So then I'll go closer to the top with this one. And it doesn't give sometimes that ooh-ah of the light and dark because so much of that black now is kind of filled in. So you kind of get the sense of the light and dark just because of the black Memento ink already that's on there. So I'm just going to kind of blend that, pull the color away, and just fill the rest in with my light petunia pop. So we've got that. And now the green that I'm using with this, you can always grab whatever your favorite green is, but I've been using that color wheel and such, and so a good combination for petunia pop or like anything that's kind of in that berry is the lemon lime twist. So I wouldn't probably grab this on my own, but I kind of like how it pops with petunia pop. So just kind of at the base of the leaves, I'm grabbing some of that color in there with the dark lemon lime twist. And I'm going to go back with my light and just kind of fill in some of these stems. Trying to stay within the lines. They're pretty small. If they're really small, then I'm not even going to go over top of that. And just fill that in and that. All right. And almost done. Just a little bit. And if you go outside of the lines, I think it just adds a pretty color, but I'm going to add a bow in there too. So if I went out of the lines, I'm not too worried about that either. Okay, so I've got that. Which blending end are you using? So Pam, I am using, and this is the one I almost 99.9% use, is the bullet tip. That is where I find I get the most success, and then I don't worry about the brush tip bending or, you know, fraying or anything. But I just feel like for me anyway, the bullet tip has more control over the brush tip. So I almost always use that, even to get into fine areas like that. I find like I have pretty decent success with that too. So that's the end that I use. Great question, and I love that you asked it. And then for my little bow here, just gonna take my ribbon and give that a little bit of a knot, and not too tight, so that way the ribbon flows out of it. I'm just gonna cut that off at an angle. My ribbon cutting scissor, we'll see how that, there we go, like so. And quick and easy, no fancy bow here today from me. And then I'm just going to stick that on top of my mini glue dot here, and then that's going to go right in the center. So I've got that, and that's just continuing to kind of pull together the look of the petunia pop and all of that there too. And if you think, oh, you know what, I want just a little bit more within this area on the basic beige, and without adding too much color or taking away from the focal point of the tulips, you could even run that through an embossing folder. But I just thought, you know what, I kind of want just these simple flowers to steal the show. This would actually make a beautiful sympathy card too. And there again, you could just use up or switch up the colors for that too, for what you wanted, or thinking of you, something like that too. Because even though fall and winter will soon be upon us, I don't think anybody would balk at getting a colorful, cheery card in their mailbox at any time, right? Okay, so I've got that, and I'm putting that, kind of overlapping that a little bit, putting it on there. And then I am going to follow through with the 2024 through 2026 in color shimmer gems. And there's some petunia pop here on the bottom left. And these come in all the 5 in colors, and then 2 different sizes. So I'm going to use one large on the bottom, and then a large and a small here at the top to kind of just fill in that space there like so. I really like these in color shimmer gems because they're kind of like, oh, when I see this, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but they're kind of etched in there, and it reminds me of the old-fashioned glass that you would get out if you were making peanut butter cookies. And then you would take and squish your peanut butter ball of cookie dough with that glass bottom. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but that's kind of how that's etched. So I like these because it adds a little bit of texture to the embellishment, but it's not overly glitzy. So kind of a nice embellishment for that. And then I'm just going to take and put this in the inside. Let's see. Happy birthday. I'm going to actually do a thinking of you for the inside, and that's going to be the same font as the happy birthday from the inside. So I'm going to keep, before I put the adhesive on, I'm going to grab this too here. And that's what I like about that stamp set, Simply Said, because now this font will match that. So I'm just going to ink up that Petunia Pop. And that gives us some color. And I always think it's kind of fun to put color with the black, kind of the black and white there, just because I feel like it does complement each other and kind of gives that a little bit more of a pop too. Thank you, Pauline. All right, so I'm just now, I can put on this adhesive. I'm just going to do that quick. And then that's going to go on the inside here like so. Got that. There we go. So like I said, I just changed up my inspiration that I received from Kim Quaid. Hers was the Dear Friend. She used the fancy bow. And I just wanted to show you, like, the knot can do the same thing, and making it a birthday card just using a different stamp set there. So, and then doing that for the inside. So like I said, so for those of you that maybe joined in a little bit later, it's because of like birthday bundles, or excuse me, Christmas bundles that I'm making, some birthday cards as like little gift things. And excuse the hair today, it was windy out there, but there's nothing better than being outside all day, coming in and looking out your windows and saying, wow, my windows are clean. Like, it doesn't last long here on the farm with all the dust flying through and such. I live on a gravel road too, so I'm going to take that victory for as long as it lasts. So have a good week, rest of your week. I hope to be back with you at least once more, just kind of finishing up some projects that I have done that some of you have seen, and then also I'll start working on some of my next projects and maybe give you a sneak peek if I can be organized enough, as I have several events in person coming up that I need to prep for as well. So take care and see you again soon. Bye-bye.